Hi, I'm Kasey and this is Greg. Say hi, Greg. Today we're going to be joining in on another art trend on Twitter, and I might be a little late, but you know what? It looked fun and fun doesn't expire. So let's get into it. It's unicorn time. I went to Twitter and asked you guys how we are going to be designing this unicorn based on the order of the replies, and here's what you guys came up with. Let's take a look. So here's how it works. We have this template for designing a unicorn. As you can see, we have a list of 10 things: horn, ears, head, color, etc., etc. So depending on the order of the replies in the tweet, that's what we will design each of these characteristics by. And let's get into it. Let's see what sort of disaster you guys have designed. Okay, first up we have the horns, and the first tweet was by Egg Table, who said popsicle horn. So honestly, very fun. I love creating creatures based off of food. So maybe we can get some sort of food theme, but it kind of depends on 10 different people. So let's see. Moving on to the ears, we have chips. So I'm assuming that's potato chips. So again, we are going with a sweet, savory sort of food animal. Let's continue. The head is a Highland cattle head. All right, that seems kind of cute. A little thick. Usually when you think of unicorns, you think, I don't know, dainty? Cows are very thick. Moving on to eyes by Stacy, we have crying, just crying eyes. Number 5, mane by Sora Gamer Girl, we have long and luxurious blonde mane. Wow. How long and luxurious are we going to go? Like ridiculously long, or just like to my butt long? Moving on to body, we have a capybara body by Cryptic Kid. All right, the hooves are going to be a marshmallow hooves. I already forgot that this was sort of food themed. We had the popsicle unicorn, the chip ears, and now we have marshmallow hooves. How does that work? That'll be interesting. Next up, we have the tail design by Lavender Corgi, and we have a curly light blue tail. Juno is deciding the color of the body of our animal, which is going to be pink. Now, I guess that doesn't include the head. Why is the head a different color from the rest? Are we, okay. Just a little confused. And last but not least, we do have our special magical ability by Bolo Fofo Gamer, who says, become small. Ooh, that's actually really interesting. So maybe it's something you can ride. It can get like this tiny if it wants to, for some reason. Maybe it can help you like find things in crevices or sneak into doors that are closed. But anyways, that is going to be all the characteristics of our unicorn. I am actually really excited, a little intimidated by some of these choices to create this unicorn. So let's get into it. Okay, so I feel like we have a lot to go through with this character. We have different sort of body types and head types, and it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting for sure. So I want to start off with the head because, well, I won't know where to go next if I don't get the head. Should be really interesting and fun to play around with. Unfortunately, this cow actually has horns, and since we are creating a unicorn, it's going to have just the one. So I'm thinking, because this character has a horn that is food, it might be fun to make, because this cattle is so hairy, instead of giving it hair, it could just be very drippy ice cream. And actually, I think the color was supposed to be pink for the body. Maybe we could make the head chocolate ice cream, maybe vanilla. Look at us, we are taking things a step further. You guys decided the color of the animal, but you didn't think I was going to turn it into a whole ice cream creature. Okay, our character also had potato chip ears, so it actually might be really interesting to have that sweet and salty with this character. Well, I was thinking this cow is so hairy you can't even see his eyes, but it might be kind of silly if I gave him the eyes that are on like those popsicles that look like SpongeBob or whatever, different characters. So they're like on one side of the head and they're like melting off. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Oh heck, I forgot the eyes were actually supposed to be crying. Well, that kind of makes sense. He's crying because, well, look at him. He's melting and falling apart. He's literally dying. I mean, you say blonde, but I say vanilla. You know what I'm saying? Does that count? Oh, poor guy. He's so sad and melty. This is a very strange creature. I need to think about if I actually want to make it hair or if I do want to continue with this ice cream theme. Okay, so the body is a capybara body, which is really interesting because they're very squatty because they're a much smaller creature than the Highland cattle. Okay, the hooves, I have to remember, have to be marshmallows. That's interesting. Are they like squishy? Because marshmallows are squishy underweight, you know? But it makes sense with this ice cream situation. You got some chips for salty. You've got your marshmallows. Interesting. This should be really interesting to say the least. I knew that going in, but I didn't expect this. Obviously color, like, let's see, there's a pink body. Oops. I want to think about composition because I do need to show the fact that this animal can get very small. So I was thinking either somebody is holding this creature in their hand. Oh my God, all drippy and just like, maybe they were about to eat them, who knows? Or because I do want the focus to be on the creature, I was thinking about framing it. Let's see if we have our piece of paper. I could just draw what they're standing on, a hand, instead of having like an actual person's face in it, because that way we can suggest that they're very small without actually having to draw a lot around the character. Just a hand is enough, I think, to suggest that this character is very tiny. This is definitely going to be an interesting character. I'm going to go ahead and start penciling this onto a piece of watercolor paper. That's right, we're doing watercolor today. So yeah, I think we have a nice solid design. Let's get into it. But before we do, I want to give a huge thank you to the sponsor of this video, Skillshare. That's right, the online learning community made for creatives by creatives just like you. From painting, sewing, baking, Skillshare has your newest hobby covered. When creating our creature today, I found this fun class by Ira Marks called Narrative Art, Drawing Imaginary Characters. He talks about how to make your characters feel more alive, posing, design, backstory, and composition. Actually, he has a lot of really interesting classes that I want to check out. You should too, and at less than $10 a month, Skillshare's annual subscription gives you unlimited access to thousands of creative courses with ad-free learning. And the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free trial of premium membership. All right, y'all, let's get back into creating this very interesting creature. This was such an interesting and challenging character design, I guess, exercise. I haven't created anything like this so bizarre and obviously food-based since my Tokyo Treat videos. And oh boy, was this very interesting to give the absolute and complete freedom to you guys in creating this character instead of me having control of it. That was probably the hardest part, not being able to make the decisions and the design choices and everything else about this character was really hard, I think. But even so, I think I still had quite a bit of freedom. Like I said, you guys may have chose the color and shape of the body, but I was still able to manipulate the body and other aspects of this creature. I mean, you said it had potato chip ears, but I made them quite large. You told me to make it a Highland cattle head, but you didn't say I couldn't make it out of entirely ice cream, so I guess I had quite a bit of freedom in that aspect. I definitely did not expect to go into this character design creating a character completely made out of food. That definitely took me by surprise. I was really expecting to go into this project creating a creature that was a little bit more lifelike, a creature that was a combination of several animals, something that was fuzzy with fur and that you could probably find find in the real world. But the character that I ended up with, I honestly kind of imagined it being something like maybe an experiment or a mistake that a witch or someone created. Because it is entirely made out of food, I just expect this to be some sort of experiment a witch was making in the kitchen, and it went horribly wrong, and they ended up making this weird creature that is just an absolute mashup of all sorts of food. Obviously, as you already saw, we do have the popsicle unicorn, we have potato chip ears, marshmallow hooves, which I will admit kind of just look like hooves. But imagine they are made out of marshmallow, and when this creature tries to walk, they get very squishy, and it's kind of hard for this creature to walk because the marshmallows are just gooey and they're going all over the place, and it looks like the creature is just struggling to walk. Not only that, but this creature appears to be completely made out of ice cream, so I can only imagine that maybe this creature dies if it's too warm. Something like Frosty the Snowman, where he dies when the weather is warm. Since this creature's body and head and everything is made out of ice cream, we've got a chocolate head, a vanilla mane, and a strawberry body. Cotton candy tail. Overall, this creature is just quite the mashup of things. Very interesting. It's almost a little hectic looking. I feel like you really kind of have to squint to look at this creature and tell what it is. But overall, I do feel like it turned out a lot of fun. I do like the simple aspect of the hand at the bottom showing you how small this creature is, because that was the magical ability to change into a small creature, which made sense because the potato chip ears really kind of helped it have this, oh wait, the unicorn size is definitely not in the marshmallows. Well, you know what? It's a food unicorn. Can you really expect much realism? So there it is. There is the unicorn creature I created with you guys. This was quite an interesting and fun experiment, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and again, a huge thank you to the sponsor of this video, Skillshare, for making everything possible. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay golden. Bye.